Good morning. This is Keitha Nelson here with First Coast News. I'm actually sitting inside of the First Coast News vehicle because it is very cold outside, about 43 degrees. We're actually sitting outside of UF Health. This is where Bri'ya and Braxton Williams, just 5 and 6 years old, are being held for observation. The two we know went missing Sunday. Spent more than 50 hours in the woods on their own, as far as we know, according to police. That investigation is still ongoing at this time. But I mentioned being inside a vehicle because it's 43 degrees outside. I'm thinking to myself, wow. What if these children were still out there in the woods at this time? This is being called a Christmas miracle. We heard one of the rescuers say that Tuesday afternoon, right when we found out that they were found. A lot of us have been saying that as well. It's definitely been a miracle because shortly after they were found, about 30-40 minutes after, the rain just started pouring down in their area on the city's west side, pretty close to the Paradise Village mobile home park. These kids, by the way, were found about 6 blocks away from their home, from that mobile home park. And the thing is that, again, back to this miracle aspect, the fact that the weather just switched just like that after they were found. We know during the days that they were out there in the woods, we're told by police, the weather was nice. It was fairly warm, so we understand how they could have possibly survived. We spoke with the first responders, the rescuers who found these two, one of them describing how he held Bri'ya in his arms. She held onto his neck so tight. He said she didn't want to let go of him. He didn't want to let go of her. They asked the two how they're able to survive. We're told that they said they were drinking water from the street. The images, the thought of these two being on their own out there for so long, more than 48 hours, more than 2 days on their own, as a parent, it'll make you cry. But we're grateful. We're all grateful that those two were found safe. Again, they are currently in this hospital right now. This is where we are right now at UF Health, but this is just as a precaution. We spoke with Brian Williams, the children's father, last night. He said that the two are being held here overnight for observation, just in case. We all understand that. We want to make sure that they are perfectly fine, okay? But he said that they were lively. They were very lively when he saw them. We have the photos of them grabbing onto their dad, making silly faces with him. The rescuers, our Jeannie Blaylock, spoke with them yesterday. A JSO officer as well as a member of JFRD. They both said that they had power bars and candy with them and water, and they gave it to the children and just immediately gobbled it all up. They were very excited for that. And as we all heard this, they asked for a cheese pizza, which they did receive. The little girl, Bri'ya, said she wanted a green teddy bear for Christmas, which I'm certain she will get. Brian Williams, the father I spoke with last night, the father of these two children, he said that this is going to be a very Merry Christmas. We also have a lot of people in the community pouring out their support, not just to find them, but now that they're found, folks want to donate to them for their Christmas, because we know the father said yesterday he has 9 children, so it's a crowded house for sure. A lot of mouths to feed and family and kids to provide for. So you know, the community chipping in, I'm certain will help a bit. So it's going to be a wonderful Christmas for them, not just for them, this community as well, because a lot of us, even though they aren't our children, they're still our children. We're still thinking about them, praying for them. I remember when I heard that they were found safe, it was just a joyous time. I simply looked up and said, thank you, Jesus. We all felt for these children, even though they weren't ours. And then when you see those images of the firefighter and the officer from JSO holding on to Bri'ya and Braxton, rather Bri'ya and Braxton holding on to them, again, it just makes you emotional, because you think there are no barriers in this city. I mean, this place really comes together when it comes to our children. Pay attention to that. Think about it. In the past incidents we've seen, they really come together when it comes to our children and finding our children. We saw the response effort when they did go missing on Sunday. There were so many people just scouring the woods on the west side near that Paradise Village mobile home park. Strangers, they don't know this family, they don't know these children, but they were in the woods where there's snake and different hazards. It didn't matter to them. They just wanted to find these children safe. So when they finally were found Tuesday afternoon, it was again such a joyous occasion for us all. And they are right here at UF Health, we're told they're safe, they're lively, and hopefully they'll be able to go home today, take a nap, sleep comfortably in their own beds. We hope. We'll wait and see. So as soon as we hear from the family, we're going to, of course, try to talk to them. And we want to also hear from investigators to find out a little bit more about the situation. From at last check, what we're told is that these kids did wander into the woods Sunday. They've been out there on their own, we're told, more than 48 hours. Exactly how they got there, what happened during that time, still not clear on that. So we are waiting to hear from investigators. Be sure to stay with First Coast News because it's still a very fluid situation, and we're updating you as soon as this information comes in. So I'll be out here at the hospital. We'll keep you updated on it all.